Hi everyone, I'm Ojasvi Swar. I am a 20-year-old college student and welcome back to my video. Before we get into today's topic, I have a few things that I need to talk about. Not that many people care or this is so sad. This is just so sad. I haven't been uploading as much as before because I have not had the time to upload or record any video, and even if I do end up recording something, I don't have the time to edit it. However, I've changed my room, and if you guys don't know, it's Mercury retrograde season. The Mercury has been retrograding at its fullest, and I have been affected so bad. I had to hear something about both of my exes this season. My skin is breaking out. It's never been this bad, and you guys can't see anything because I have a shit ton of makeup on my face right now. I have concealer everywhere, so you guys can't see it that bad, but it's super bad, I promise. I feel lazy all the time. I don't want to do anything. Mercury retrograde is retrograding at its finest, its fullest, not at its finest. Let's get into today's video. Today we are going to be talking about boys aren't alright. As pick-me as this topic makes me sound, I swear I have not stopped thinking about this topic ever since I watched this one show. So there's this one show that came out on Netflix. I think it's called Adolescence. I watched this show and I had never been more shocked. Like it was just realization that were there from before, but they just started, the show just made those realizations even more there. So I felt like I need to talk about this, and whenever I watch shows that make me think for days, I feel the need to talk about it with someone, or talk about it with someone who has the same thoughts about the show. So I texted my family to watch the show and they said they've already watched it, and then I don't think they had anything to say about it. Then I tried talking to my sister about it and she just left me in the scene. So I did talk to my roommate about it and we did have a bit of a conversation, but even after that I haven't stopped thinking about this show. And then I thought maybe I'll write it in one of my essays. Then I was like, I have my phone, I have a YouTube channel, I can do it there. So I decided that I will be talking about it here instead. I will not be spoiling the show, I'll not be summarizing the show or anything. I'll just be talking about what I realized through the show. So as you can tell by the title, I realized that boys aren't alright. I feel like this is a topic that has been talked about before. This is something people talk about pretty often now. But when I started thinking about this topic, I started realizing how bad today's generation loves feminism. When we think about feminism, just because of its name, we think it's about women's rights. It's about bringing women up, right? But feminism is about equality. It's about men and women being equal. And I'm not saying they're equal. They're nowhere near equal in this generation. We are doing feminism so wrong. The reason feminism was bought to show that women can be equal to men. Imagine that there's a scale, and men were already very high. They were doing jobs, they were earning money, they were writers, they were scientists, they were doctors. Men were up there, and women were just working in their houses. They weren't educated, they were just there. So feminism was a movement to bring the women to the men's level. And we are getting there. I'm not saying we are not in today's world. However, I think when the society was focusing so much on bringing women to that level, we kind of neglected men. Okay, now I'm not saying men are going down. They're there. They're still there. But I'm just saying society has always believed if there's a crime against a woman, the woman is at fault in some type of way. For example, blaming a woman's clothing. But the women's society think that it's not the women's clothing, it's the men's thoughts, it's the men's thinking. The men aren't alright. If you change a man's thinking, then wouldn't the crimes eventually stop? Why are we trying to bring women up when men need so much help first? I feel like this problem about bringing women and men to an equal level relies heavily on supporting both men and women and not just women. I get it, women need a lot of more help than men.
And who set that system up?
Men.
In today's generation, because of how the society has collectively brought down women throughout the generation, but we as a society decided to collectively focus on how to protect our women by blaming the women and not the men, we can see the effects of it in today's generation. There's so much content in the internet, there's so much content in the society feeds today's generation's men, boys, that they are growing up with such different personalities, and this personality focuses around toxic masculinity so bad that it's like I don't think people understand the severity of this issue. I don't think they understand how important it is to change the thinking of men and not just women, okay? If you want to do feminism right, focus on the boys. I get it, you want to protect the women, but the only way you can actually protect the women, even the future generation of girls that are going to be women, you need to focus on the boys first. Achievement of men and women being equal will only come when you change the thoughts of these boys. And the only way we can do that is by changing the content we feed these boys, changing the society that feeds into these boys' minds, and the society that says that men are supposed to be a certain way and women are supposed to be a certain way. From this show, I also realized that another way we have been neglecting these boys is women get insecure because they are supposed to look like those girls in the screen. Women get insecure because they have to dress like the girls in the screen. Women get insecure because they have to eat like the girls in the screen. Boys are changing their minds so they can be like the people they see on the screen, and the people they are showing on the screen are not good people. If I am getting so affected by someone's body on the screen, what makes you think that a guy telling a boy to objectify women won't be affected by that thought? You know, I don't know why the society isn't alarmed yet, but I feel like if you want women and men to be equal, let's start focusing on both of them and not just women. I am not trying to be pick me. I care about my safety and I do believe that I need to be protected. But the only way you can protect me is by changing the men's thoughts. Okay? This is our future generation we are talking about. These are the people that turn into men. It is a given fact that men are physically stronger than women. And when these controlling thoughts are in their minds, then imagine what they're going to do to the society. The show just, I cried. I was crying at the end of the show because I realized how we have failed as a society. It was just not a good feeling at all. And I was thinking for days and days, certain type of personalities being fed into these boys, and this culture of promoting the same personality is just not sitting right with me, and I don't think it should sit right with anyone. Imagine if every single man started acting like Andrew Tate, because that is the media they're feeding the boys today. But I didn't think the severity of this issue was this bad until I watched the show. Those are not good influencers. If by seeing influencers I can feel bad about my body, they can feel bad about their mentality. This video is already 20 minutes long. I need to edit 20 minutes of content now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really do consider what I said here, and if you haven't watched the show, go watch the show. It is an amazing show. And fun fact, every episode of the show is shot in one take, which was really shocking to me. So yes, go watch it.